Welcome to the channel and No Man's Sky's Permadeath run, and I'm very much aware that some of you might not be interested in this fairly long introduction, so there should be a timestamp appearing pretty quickly that will take you straight into the gameplay. If that's what you want to do, guys, fair enough, you're perfectly welcome to do that. And this introduction is going to be a little bit about what I intend to do with this permadeath, a little bit of background on why I'm doing it. And so let's get into it, guys. Now, why am I doing permadeath? Well, if you've been with the channel for a little while, you will realise that after Pathfinder came out, I did a permadeath series and I was doing quite well. Then I got overconfidence and I managed to get myself killed. And I think that emphasises what permadeath is, because what permadeath mode is actually survival mode, but with only one save game, and if when you die that save game is deleted. And the way No Man's Sky is, it doesn't contain boss fights, it doesn't contain that impossible situation you've got to hack your way through. But what No Man's Sky actually does is give you plenty of opportunities to kill yourself. May it just be going down on an extreme planet and getting in an impossible situation, trying to take on too much, and that's what happened with my first permadeath run. I got overconfident, I went down on an extreme planet, and I exposed myself to multiple Sentinel attacks, and I couldn't get back into the ship, and I died. And that's what's the challenge of permadeath, and that's what the challenge that's driving me. I want to get to the center of the galaxy on permadeath mode. In fact, I want to play No Man's Sky on permadeath mode, for that constant threat that every decision I make may get myself killed. And also at the same time, Atlas Rises has now been released, and I want to experience that as well, very, very clearly, guys. Yet at the same time, guys, I'm very much aware that some of you can say, well, you're doing this as a recording, you're not live streaming it, how do you know I'm not cheating? Well, this is very much a personal challenge for me, which I want to share with you. Therefore, if I die and then I go back to a backup game and then start again, I'm not just cheating you guys, I'd be cheating myself, and I'd be aware of that. And I can guarantee you that even if I did succumb to that temptation, eventually I would just get myself killed, simply because I would have lost interest in the series. This is very much a very deep personal challenge for me. But at the same time, since the new update came out, a lot of people have gone back and restarted and have watched a few live streams, and I can quite understand the thinking, and I can understand that thinking, and I want to do the same. That there's been so much change in content with this game that trying to pick up an existing series like my survival mode is useful if you want to show features, but I think if you really want to experience this game and the changes and the new content and the new mission chains and all that, you've really got to start again. And that's why I'm starting again on permadeath mode. And what I want to talk about a little bit now, guys, is the structure of what this series is going to be about. It's not going to be me on an ego trip saying, look how cool I am, I can survive permadeath, and I'm dashing to the center of the galaxy. This is going to be me trying to get a theme into each part, talk about the strategy for surviving permadeath, at the same time following the storylines and talking about them, because one of the downsides of the guys who stream, yes, they do very good streams, but they produce 3-4 hour files, and it can be very difficult to wade through all those files if you wanted to find a piece of information. So what I will be doing in this series is occasionally I will extract something that's really interested into a short video, or anyone who wants to know how to do it. So for example, say farming or something like that. So there will be some shorts mixed in with the overall series of where it's going to go. That's going to be the theme of this. So this is going to be me sharing my experience, but at the same time highlighting and demonstrating new things that are happening and what's going on. And of course there's also the aspects of the multiplayer and that experience as well. And of course we've got to go through a portal. I think I've kind of talked long enough now, guys, and I think it's now time to start getting into the game. So we're going to just click here. Now, I am very aware that this start has a slightly long sequence of electronic voice, so I'm not going to talk over that. So what I'm going to do now is shut up and start talking once we get into the game. So here we are, we're on the initialization screen. Right, here we are guys, we're on a planet. I'd guess that it's radioactive. We're 11 minutes away from our starship. We've got something here, I don't know what this is. It's like some kind of base by the look of it. Oh no, it's just another. Anyways, I'm just going to get inside first guys, because protecting resources is quite important, and I'm just going to kind of explain. Now if you're new to No Man's Sky, the way the game actually starts is that the scenario is that you've crash landed on a planet and you have to repair your starship. The way to think of it is an initial tutorial. Now the difference between normal mode and survival mode stroke permadeath mode is that when you start on a base in survival mode and you have to repair your ship, which is some distance, and then get to your ship, which in this case is 11 minutes away. So the first thing we actually need to do, if I show you guys here, the log has been vastly improved with the Atlas rises, you can see here. So we've got our objective here, and it says here the first thing that we need to do is repair the scanner. But in fact, with this survival mode, the thing you actually need to do first is get a stockpile of carbon, because you can see here the initial beam is only 50%, and so I need to get out here and kind of grab some carbon. I think there should be some carbon out here. There we are. But at the same time, I've got to keep an eye on the environmental protection, which is the green bar at the top if you're new to the game. But at the same time, with survival mode, you do not want to run or use the jetpack, because until I've got the appropriate resources, I've only got a very limited amount of movement. And what I'm going to do is just keep mining out this carbon. Now the other thing you've got to be a bit aware of is that Sentinels can get a bit stroppy if you start mining out too much in one place. Oops, no, wasting resources here. This is very much about high density resource management. There's a little bit of plutonium there, if we're going to sneak that in there. Yeah, we're down to 50%, so... But I do really want to grab as much of this carbon as possible. I need carbon to, I think, repair one of them. I'm not sure if it's the scanner or the analysis tool. But more importantly, I need carbon to be able to recharge my multi-tool. I think that's enough there guys, and we're going to take a nice slow stroll back. We'll be okay, don't worry about it. And I think maybe we can grab a little bit of carbon on the way. Walking and shooting at the same time is quite a common thing. There's a nice cave over there, that's going to be useful. And we just got back in time. Now I'm not going to click this one because this is often a shield requirement, or so we've got some clusters here, we've got a bit of carbon, and what we're going to do is come in here, we're going to repair the scanner, and we've got, look at that, nice big wad of carbon here. And just drop that up in there. We've got one thing, I'm going to send the nanite clusters to the ship because we don't need them in this initial survival mode. What we need now is 40 iron to repair the analysis visor, and what we need is quite a lot of iron because we need 7 Carlite sheets. And if I kind of show you here guys, Carlite sheets require 50 a time, so that's 650s, that's 300. We got another 200 there, so that's 500. Then we've got to charge the pulse engines, which is another one, so we need about 600 carbon. We also need plutonium. And what I'm going to do is kind of go in this direction of the cave, because you really need, let's see, got some iron there. We're just going to grab the iron. And if you're not moving, stand still guys. And there's a nice big cave there. I think we should be able to get into it. That's going to be quite useful. I mean, I've got no interest. Now there's kind of three approaches to get into the ship. The one is you can just walk there. There's a bit of zinc down there. There's also a whip plant that kill whip plants on principle. And what we're going to do is get down here. Oh no, it's not zinc. Okay, let's get up into this cave. And caves are very important during this stage of the game. There's a little bit of antrium in here, but I'm not interested in the antrium. I don't think it's called antrium anymore. It's called marrow bulb. It was a lot of the old resources were renamed under Atlas Rises. Apology if I use the old name, but I do want to get this done. And God, come on, stabilizing. Okay, let's get in a bit further inside. Often when you mine iron is when the Sentinels show up. I've got a feeling that they've actually changed the overheat as well, because if I overheat the tool, it takes a little while to cool off now, and I think there's a penalty associated with it. So there's that to remember, guys, as well. I think that should be enough to repair the scanner. It's important to get the scanner fixed first, because you need this to find the cool there. How are we doing here? We've got 89. We're going to need a bit more carbon fairly soon. And of course, what we're going to do now is, can I get a carlite sheet and carlite sheet stack? And I think what we're going to do is keep mining out the iron in here. I think I can get it down to about 50. So apologies, guys, this might be a little bit boring. And if I feel a bit tense, I always feel tense. Permadeath can really stress you out, guys, and I'm not joking. It can be an interesting experience. No, that's not. And I think we're going to keep mining iron till the mining beam gets down to about 50%. Hopefully the Sentinels won't find us. I mean, this is the tedious bit of getting started. And it's not just Permadeath, it's all of them. You've got to mine the iron out. But this cave's ideal for the job, to be honest. And I wouldn't say this is a perfect start, because there's no such thing as a perfect start in No Man's Sky. And what I want to do is make sure that I've got, yeah, I've still got 117. I'm going to need, see, still got 67 left. You need to keep some iron back for making shields, I think. And the important thing to remember is that when you start in survival mode and, well, permadeath mode, that your ship is too far away to bring resources back, so you can only send resources to the ship which you do not want to use. Use the ship as a kind of depository of resources that will be of use. Do not send something there and then suddenly think, oh, I need that, because they will not let you bring it back. Okay, right, we're down to 50%. I think we can maybe get one more, and then I'm gonna have to go and recharge, find some trees and recharge the carbon. I don't like actually exhausting the whole lot. Ship's that way. Where did I come in? If I got turned around here? No, it's the base is that way. Okay, what we're going to do before we off? Actually, what was there? How much carbon have I got? 217. So I can do 3 more sheets to do. I'm just going to do this because I'm going to use them straight away. Repair the launch thrusters, and what we're going to do is throw out a scan, and that's not encouraging. There's some thallium that way, but it's not going to be inside the cave. That is not encouraging, guys. Now, I'm not bothering to save the game at the moment, purely and simply because this is permadeath mode. If you die, you die. I mean, yes, you could argue the fact that there's a merit in there, and we can actually start scanning the creatures now, making a little bit of cash. Cash is useful. Okay. Waypoint detected, yes. And I think we're going to have to go off in that direction in a little while. Looks like there's some plutonium here, so I think what we can do is now check out the save point. We've actually got something worth saving. A little bit of plutonium there. Now I'm going to discard this. I've got a gag graph, that's not great interest because I don't want to clog my inventory up with junk. I'm only interested in resources that's going to help me survive or a bit of profit, and to be honest, I've got no idea what purpose rusted metal actually does. And of course we're going to pop a save now. That is our first official save of the game. And what I'm going to do is, we've got trees out there, so I'm going to go to this base. I think this is the one, I can't remember which one I've actually checked now. There's some iridium over there, we're going to need to work with iridium. Yeah, this is the one we've been in. Okay, we're in here now, guys. Just to show you, the way it works is that in permadeath mode, what happens is there's 3 save games, but the way the game actually works is they save the same file to all 3. So effectively you only have the 1 save game. Right, I'm going to throw out a scan this way. Wow, some nice big watch of plutonium there, there's some zinc. I think I'm going to go this way because zinc is one of the more difficult things to actually find when you go out here, along with thallium. Now, one of the things I'm not quite so happy about is that with the new mode, they actually mark all the different. So when you scan, you get a big, what appears to be a big crop of plutonium, and what it is actually is a bit of plutonium and one big bit of plutonium, and then lots of small pieces, which is a little bit disappointing, guys. And there should be some zinc in here. And of course, the other problem with survival mode stroke the so there's the base back that way, and of course we're going to grab a little bit of iron on the way back, and really need some thallium, if not all platinum, so we can make the necessary shields. Yes, we'll be okay, guys. We've got 28 seconds to get back to the base. We can relax. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of a trick, guys, for permadeath, which is that as we approach, scan the base, because the scanner now gives you a lot more information. So there's data store, building, protection. And what you actually get is this marker. And that marker will actually help you find the base if you get a bit disorientated. Okay, let's got 92 plutonium. I don't really want to. Actually, I think what I can do is send the plutonium to that. Send this to the ship. I want to keep this at, and the zinc. Does that fill the ship up yet? Okay. And you can see here I need at least 1 more zinc, 4 carlite sheets, and then of course the big one, the iridium. And there's plutonium up over there. I'm just gonna. Yeah, we've got lots of plutonium there. Now, there's 3 ways that you can approach getting to your ship. 2 ways have been around for a little while. One is you walk to the ship. The second one is you walk towards the ship but look for a crap. Run, 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 run. Oh, nothing, never a dull moment in the world of. Right, I'm gonna put that in there. I need 200 plutonium to recharge the thrusters. Right. No, now there's the Heridium. I think I'm gonna have to go for the Heridium, guys. Yeah. So the first method is you walk to the ship and somehow get to it in one go. The advantage of that is that you get an option to pick up the Atlas path very, very early. Now, the second option is that you move towards the ship, but look for a base with a summoning peg on it with a free takeoff. Bear in mind that you've had to repair the ship first. You've got to have the ship has to be fully repaired, and then you will summon the ship to you. The downside of that is the fact that you will lose your initial access to the Atlas path, but it's not a problem, guys, because eventually you will pick up that thread anyway. And the third option now is being introduced with the Atlas Rises, and what we're going to do is we're going to come on, come on. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You've got to. I've got to be able to tunnel into the Iridium. Yeah, that's it. What you do is you tunnel into the Iridium and then jump into it, and then that allows you to basically. Okay. Wait, breaking my own rules here, guys. It means we can now also do this, and yeah, and I say the third option. Sorry, I keep stopping because I do really need to concentrate on the options here. Is that you actually? I think I can do it if you come here, just to demonstrate it, guys. Once the ship's been fixed, you can summon the ship to you. Now the downside of that is that you've got to fuel it with 200 plutonium, and that plutonium will be used when you actually summon the ship. So in the survival mode, that means that you will probably have a problem straight away, and I think that will, what I'm going to do now is kind of cut my way round like this so I can look in all directions. Because there's always a need for a little bit of surplus iridium, especially now that they've actually changed the rules with respect to damaged machinery. You've now got to repair it before you can extract the nanites. There's no more free roving across the surface looking for things. So I've now what I've effectively done now is created a little bit of a base here. No, come on, you don't want to attack me. You're friendly. Okay, and what I should be able to do now is I've got 500 iridium. That's a nice little stack. Sorry, guys. And what I need now is 4 car light sheets. Don't think I've got enough. Just stack that up there. How much iron have I got? 42 iron left. Okay, let's throw out a scan. I need some zinc. Downside of firing it in here is this. Oh, there's another big bunch of. Oh, this is probably one of the best starts I have ever had in survival mode, where I've actually. Okay. And I'm just going to grab that. That should give us the resources to. And there's some zinc back there as well. Okay, that's nice and cool. Okay, guys. Let's see if we can get back up inside of here. Come on. Okay. Oh, I thought I'd lost it. Okay guys. Right, so that can go to the ship. That means I've now got the resources for that, and what I need now is iron. What I like to do is, oops, the carbon. Oh well, we'll pick the carbon up anyway. Still haven't found any platinum. What we're going to do is charge this up, and then I'm going to work my way back towards the base. I know it's counterintuitive, guys, but okay. The ship's that way, and my base is that way. Okay, we're going to work our way back towards the base. Actually, do I need to go back towards the base? Because I'm going to be walking towards the ship, aren't I? Okay. Let's mine iron in this area. I know it's only a small step, guys, but let's throw out a scan, see if there's anything around. There's a little bit of zinc up here. Oops, don't fall down holes. This is what I was saying. No Man's Sky gives you plenty of opportunity to kill yourself. Plutonium down there. Some birds up there. Get a scan on these. Oh, come on. Okay. Let's grab some iron. Yes, I know. We'll be okay, guys. We'll be okay. Stabilizing. Okay. What we're going to do now is just tuck in here. And then we're going to get ready to go for the ship. It's going to be a 10-minute hike towards the ship. Right. How much iron have I got? Got enough iron to be going on with. Okay, let's just send that to the ship so I've got space. 165 plutonium. We need more plutonium. Need more iron. There's a bit of iron here, we might as well get that. We're in a nice protected area. And just to show you guys, get a power gel. I'm very tempted to actually construct that because we don't actually have a thamium at the moment, and we've got one shield. Okay, this is where the fun starts now, guys. What I really need to look out for, there's a shelter over there. Now this is what walking to the ship is all about, is hopping from one point to the next, recharging the shield, trying to keep the shield up as high as possible. There's a little bit of iron here, so I can kind of stop off under here if it will allow me. If you get really, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I saw some plutonium over there, but what we can do is to recharge the. Oops, no, don't want to use that just yet. Used up all my carbon, so I need to work on recharging getting a supply of carbon. Okay, let's get this sorted first. I have 144, yes, okay. Right, let's repair the car light sheets. Now I need 100 iron there, and we also need some plutonium. Okay, so the ship tells me it's time to be repaired. Oh. some plutonium over there. We're certainly going to go with that. And then we're going to ships that direction. Okay, let's keep going. There's some iridium over there. That could give us a place to stop off, but I also need carbon. I'm talking quickly, guys. I'm nervous. This is the bit I always hate. But what is normally called the long walk. Because you're actually effectively walking in the open, trying to survive, and of course you don't really have the tools. Later on you've got the tools to actually do this. Right, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, got no caves around here. We're just going to keep walking up on here. We could get into the iridium. Mine into that iridium, that would give us a place to rest up. It actually goes all the way oh no, it doesn't all go all the way to the ground. Okay, there's a cave down there, and of course we've got a nice big long drop. Okay, let's just slide into here. Now I could take a chance and try walking through the cave, but I don't recommend it. Can I build another power gel? Yes, I can. Good. Right. I'm very, very low. Okay, let's grab a little bit of iron. I definitely need some more carbon, but I think if I can recharge the ship. So I think the same principle as last time. If we can get down to about 50% and just recharge up this. Right, then we got 121. Yeah, so I got left over 21 iron, so I'm going to pick up a little bit more iron. So if I can find some platinum, I will be able to build a shielding shard. So I'm going to get back outside now, and I'm going to walk up through this lot. The ship is that way, but we're going to have to walk round. Some carbon over there. Really want to head for that carbon. Grab that. There's another cave. I probably could have walked through that actually gap there. Wow. The question is, do I want to risk jumping down into that area there? These rough mountains or terrain, it looks very appealing to jump down into that, but you can get yourself into trouble, guys. We're still 8 minutes away from the ship. That's a long way to go. Some plutonium down there. I'd love to get down into that. Okay, let's just keep walking around here. There's a base over there. 47 seconds. Do I gamble on whether that base will have a shelter in it or whether it's just an open platform? If it's an open platform, I could be in trouble. Let's grab some more carbon as we walk towards it. Yeah, there's a yeah, yes, oh yes, we've got this, guys. This could be good, but of course we've got to jump off of a cliff here. Right, a scan. There's plutonium over there, that's useful. Let's see if we can get it. I think we'll be okay, guys. I can grab this plutonium. There's another base over there, 1 minute 57. There's some resources here. There might be a shielding shard in there, but we're just going to jump in this base. And this time I'm going to shields at maximum. Probably don't need it, but okay, let's just take stock of where we are. We've got 123 plutonium. And that probably has consumed virtually all my plutonium. I've got some carbon. Still got a shielding shard. And that's just taken all my carbon, so I really need to top up on some carbon. Okay, let's get over here. I'll grab the save. Ooh, fingers are tingling. I'm not, to be honest guys, I'm not convinced about this rusty metal unless it's got some use later on. Max convergence cube. I want shielding shards, but I don't think they come from these. I think it comes from the yellow containers. The ship is over there, so let's just go in here. Actually, let's get a bit of carbon before I leave. Stock up on some carbon. And then we're going to start moving towards the ship again. We'll grab that. Go back, top up our environmental protection. And this is what survival mode permadeath is all about, guys. It can be a bit stressful, but if you think about what you're doing, it's not that difficult. And I know I might be making this look a bit easy, or easier than some people might think, but there is an element of luck, and I'm going to be honest guys, this is quite a good start. I have done, when I was doing my first permadeath, I actually had an impossible start. There was no way I could get the resources to actually get to the ship. Well, in fact, I got to, in one try I got to the ship, but I couldn't take off because I couldn't actually get enough. I couldn't get to the plutonium to actually take off. I don't know if I can get under here. Maybe I'm just being a bit too overcautious, but permadeath makes you that way actually, guys. You start to get a little bit paranoid. There's a kind of shelter there. There's some shelters over there. This has got very, very good terrain for this type of run. These kind of curved overarching items is ideal terrain because you don't need a deep cave, you just need shelter. So if I get into this corner here, stabilizing, let's have another quick get in here, got a little bit on that beam. Could do with maybe topping up a little bit of the iron. We will grab a little bit more iron, and maybe we'll start picking up a little bit of antrium, or whatever it's called now. Apologies for calling marrow bulb. Marrow bulb is very, very useful. That's not there, in the sense that it's, when you get to the base section, it's actually quite common. Okay. And the ship's up that way. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll go over to that cave, rest up a bit, and then we will go forward again. Grab a bit more iron on the way over. I can assure you guys that once you get the more advanced technologies, you don't have to mine as much as you do at the moment. What have we got over there? Is that it's 1 minute 32. I'd love to kind of... Oh, there's plutonium here. I'm certainly going to grab that. Bit of plutonium there and there. I think we can kind of walk around this part here. Very, very tempted to go. Very, very tempted to go through these caves, but that might not be such a good idea. Okay, let's just get in here. And we'll grab a bit of marrow bulb. Get charm can go to the ship. The nanites can go to the ship. The marrow bulb can go to the ship. The Corvax cube can go to the ship. Life support, yeah, we still got there. We still don't have any platinum, which is a little bit unfortunate. Okay, let's kind of curve out here, and we're just going to go up over the mountain. Ship is that way. Still a long way to go to the ship, but we've actually got a base in that direction. This is taking us in that right direction, so I'm going to keep moving. Hopefully throw out a scan. There's some plutonium over there. I've never actually, this is the first time I've actually, normally there's always one resource that's short. Fammium. But this is the first time I've been like, I've never found any platinum. Platinum is always kind of everywhere. And fammium is very, very useful because you can recharge your life support with that. So let's keep going over the top here. Got to keep an eye on the environmental. Downside of walking over here, there's no caves, but we still got a spare shield to live with. There's something over here, arrive in 27 seconds. Drop pod. Well, we're certainly going for that, guys. That is a real bonus. Yes, but I'm used to that. Drop pod will give us another space in our suit, and as far as I can remember, the first one is free. So, and there's some fammium there as well. Look at that. This is great. And of course, the advantage with drop pods is that you can hide in them. And it says here, drop pod general, take the item. And we get the first one for free. And we've now gained an extra slots. That is very, very nice. I really like that. And of course we're gonna top up the beam. Of course we're around here. Drop a save. And of course, if you're new to the game, guys, these big cylinders are a very, very good source of warp drive fuel once you've got an Atlas level 1 pass. It's a kick charm. Doing really well for the King Dagger. Okay, scan again. Platinum. I'm even prepared to. Yes, I'm even prepared to backtrack. Platinum. Because that will mean we can build a shielding shard. Let's get some, see we're walking this way, let's get in and get some carbon. We're going to be okay. We're just going to tuck up there. A couple of platinum parts will basically change the whole dynamic. You can see here straight away we've got a nice big bunch of platinum. I've lost that. Plutonium, there was some plutonium around here somewhere. Okay, a bit more carbon. I think we've got plenty of time. We'll go back into the drop pod before we move off to the next level. Personally, I think they've actually made it a little bit easier for the initial start. And I'm not being blasé about that, guys, but I think they've actually... I wouldn't say they've deliberately made it easier for the start. I think what they've actually done is they've redistributed some of the elements a lot more successfully. Okay, that can go to the ship. Goes to the ship, and we can now make a shielding shard. You can see there 50 iron, 20 platinum, so we can make another one as well, and we can make another power gel. We're cooking it out, guys. I've got every confidence of being able to get to the ship now. Sorry about that, I needed to have a drink. My mouth was getting very, very dry. Yeah. So let's go in. But as I said, one thing you can rest assured with, No Man's Sky gives you plenty of opportunity to kill yourself, like drops like that. Walk off them, you will take damage. Okay, plutonium over there, certainly going to go for that plutonium. Again, see the grouping, guys? That gives the impression that there's a massive amount of plutonium, but when you get here, what you've actually got is quite a little bit of a a dispersal, and I think we'll get this carbon again. Sorry, I've got a bit of a carbonate session, guys, but there's nothing worse than running out of your fuel for your multi-tool. Okay, it's going to keep going now, and we're okay. Now I'm also pretty sure, I don't know if it's now, they've now adjusted the rate which your environmental protection drops in relation to the biomes, but I was sure that pre-Atlas Rises that used to go down a lot faster than it does now. So you can press the T key and you'll get a torch on. Yes, but there's a cave up here, so I don't really want to use the shielding shard unless I have to. I think we'll be able to slip in under here. Yes, we've got here. I mean, the worst planets to be walking across, and to be honest, if I'd started on one of those, is one that's very, very smooth. Because if you start on one of those, you will find that there's very, very little cover, and you need the shielding shards. And I think in that scenario, I would go for the option of calling my ship or trying to find a base with a pickup tab on it, a free takeoff post. Not every base has them, but major bases do. Right, I think if we go up through here, we can get a bit of height and altitude. There's a base there, but I'm not inclined to really waste resources now. Investigate awakenings, investigate crash ship. So I don't really want to fall off this edge. As I said, No Man's Sky will let you kill yourself. Yeah, we're going to make it, guys. Don't worry, we're going to make it. We may have to drop a power canister in, because of course your life type support, which is the white bar at the bottom there, has to be recharged. It doesn't regenerate like your shields. And I think let's grab a little bit of carbon. I think when I get to the ship, that is where I'm going to finish this part, guys. This has been what on earth is this? I haven't seen this. What is this? Actually, scan it. I've been told that you actually get combinations. What was that again? Iron and zinc. So you get a combination of iron and zinc. Ah, that's new. And zinc 5. Oh, that's useful to know, guys. Very, very useful to know. Okay, got 2 minutes to the ship, so I think we're going to have to use one of our shielding shards. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is pop the power cell in as well. I'm relaxing now, guys. This is the most stressful part of permadeath, even survival mode, is getting to your ship. Once you get to your ship, you kind of get a sense that you're back in control. I like that, actually. That is something that's worth knowing. I shouldn't be hanging around here too long, but I do want to mine this. And of course, let's see if any... Oh, okay, stop prattling about. It's the overconfidence that will get you killed in this game. You think you've got it cracked, and you start to relax, and you think, I can afford to just do this, and then suddenly a Sentinel comes out of the woodwork, or a Predator, or you just get... So you're not going to pass that up. 3 bits of zinc. Again, I think they've put more... There's more. You get more concentrations of zinc now as plants, where between Pathfinder and Atlas Rises, the best way to gain zinc was to farm Sentinels. Yes, I know, but ship should... Oh no, still not in sight. We've still got 1 minute and 27 to go. But we still got a shielding shard, so we're okay, guys. And of course we've got our first milestone. These can be very irritating, but you can see here you can press tab to skip them. Again, this is one of the things that used to get you killed in the past, that you would be quite happily going along here, you'd get one of those and then a Sentinel would attack, and while it was doing the sequence you would actually end up dying. I mean, I could get into a run if necessary, once I can see the ship. I'm really... yeah, I think what we can do is just get in a bit of a trot, run down the hill. This is 31 seconds. We can do it, guys. We can do it. And again, maybe not. Come on, 20 seconds. And oh, bloody hell! Run. You get a couple of seconds while it's offline. Whew. Ships auto diagnostics iteration something or other online. Atlas connection intermittent. This is new. I have woken near a crashed starship only to assume it belongs to me, although I have no memory. This must be the pickup of if you were starting in normal mode. The crash must have affected my memory somehow. Read the log. Request log unavailable. Substituting data. Exosuit connected. All systems functional and fueled. Leave. Right, we've got to sit here a little while that recharges, so have a quick look at the log. Now this says leave the planet, because this is basically the inline tutorial. Permadeath, you don't really want to rush out into space. That's the story thread. But what you actually need to do in Permadeath is kind of get yourself a little bit of look for a potential base, and I actually quite like this planet, so I'm kind of half inclined, if I can find the habitable base, is to settle on this planet actually, and have my initial base here, because one thing you need with permadeath and survival mode is a kind of operating base. You don't really want to keep skittering along with this basic equipment. You really want to be able to get some weapons upgrades, preferably a new multi-tool, something that will actually give you a bit more clout, especially before you go out into space. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is grab that and that, and hopefully, right, this is what I was saying about damaged machinery. Now you have to repair it, and I can actually repair it. That went very quickly, guys, sorry about that. That's because I had the Heridium. And of course this is the start of the Atlas path. And scenario iteration transfer, probable boundary separation failure, vessel emptied. Now I'm going to rattle through this quite quickly, guys, because this is probably going to be a long sequence. And this is, again, this is the type of thing that can get you killed in survival mode if you're not getting it. Anomaly broadcast. Well, we're going to broadcast. Containment prepared. Broadcast. Traveller anomaly detected. I think traveller anomaly is us. Position logged. System integrity scanned. Initialized. Anomaly is compliant. Okay. And I think that might give us something of use. Shielding shard. That's better. That's something. I like that. Quite happy with that. And again, we're going to dump the rusted material for the moment. And we've got another convergence cube. Okay. Now, the downside of where I am at the moment, let's just jump into here because I don't really want to waste resources, is the fact that we're in a bit of a pit, which is going to make it a little bit tricky to go out on rounds. Life support's okay, we've got a little bit of thamium. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. Got plenty of carbon. I could really do with stocking up a little bit more. I think this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. And what I'm going to do is just sit in the ship for the moment. This is where I'm going to leave it for this part. I hope you enjoyed this part 1. And what we're going to do now is take it from there in the next part and take it forward. But what I will do off camera is investigate this area around. If I find anything of real interest, I will record it and show it to you. But what I like to do is strip out all the available resources around this area within range, because obviously it does, see the light creeping in as it's getting dark. Anyway, so this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this part 1. Hope you're going to enjoy doing this series with me. I'm really looking forward to doing this, exploring Atlas Rises and the new story content and all that. I'm really looking forward to this, and above all, this is a series that I really want to do. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.